to first hear about me from Small Business Day. That's one of our events that we do. Small Business Day is the nation's largest startup launch event, okay? And we do them in cities all across the country. Just in the past year, we've helped just through that one event almost 20,000 entrepreneurs. And so so I teach a lot there. I take them through a 1-hour business plan. And we were going through a refresher last night. Just trying to, it's a 1-hour, 1-page business plan that we kind of go through. But I don't have time to go over a ton tonight. I wish I could. It's so much, business is it's so many aspects to it. You know, I could talk on one aspect of a slither of an aspect for 2 hours, right? But I'm not gonna do that for you tonight. I'm going to probably spend about 15, 20 minutes just going over some key things that I believe will help you. And this is the Entrepreneurship Experience Atlanta. And so with this, you're going to learn some things that would help you to understand how to grow your business and get it to the point to where it makes sense, okay? So let's get into it. This is the road to business success, and I am J R McNair. Now, there's a gritty path, okay, to business success. Business is really hard. It's really hard. And I think a lot of people, we look at the romanticism of business and we say, you know what? We watch Shark Tank and all these things like that and want to be, it's the sexy thing. I want to start a business, right? But it's really, really hard. And I just want to make sure I get that out of the way. It's going to take time and it's hard. Most people just want a cookie just for getting started. I started my business last year, JR. I ain't made no money yet. It's like, well, dang, man. You know, y'all live business, you ain't made no money. Does that really matter? Right? No. You know, I want to make sure that we start businesses that make money, right? Do y'all want to? Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, most people never really make any money in business, okay? You're talking about the average is below $50,000 gross, okay? It's actually $43,000 to be precise, okay? But that's before expenses and taxes, okay? So look, you're talking about, after you done took all that out, maybe $20,000 in annual profit, right? So that you can't live off of that, can you? Right? You can't. And so this is the thing. So what is the solution to this, right? First off, we have to set bigger and better goals. And so I'm going to go over 2 sections with you today. I'm going to go over the goals section, then I'm going to go over another piece. So DeCab, you're going to have another round on this end. But first off, we have to set bigger and better goals, okay? So let's look at this first. I always had this philosophy. I used to have this sign in my office that had this on the wall. It says, if you're going to dream anyway, you might as well dream big, okay? And this is the thing, right? The lower you set your goals, the harder it's going to be for you to accomplish them. Okay, let me tell you something, right? If you set your goals for the top of this building, then you're probably going to hit your head in the dirt, right? And I always try to tell people, set your goals up for the stars, and if you fall on the moon, you're still up there, okay? And this is the thing. People love to get behind large goals, large dreams. Do you understand? So if you're trying to recruit people, you're trying to get people on your team for certain things, people get excited about big goals. So set a big goal, okay? Now, I'm going to tell y'all this. We always, and as humans, we are horrible planners, okay? We're horrible, okay? We always overestimate. In first year, I'm going to make $1 million. And okay, you could. $1 million is $83,000 a month. That's about, let's just say, $20,000 a week, right? On a 5-day work week, that's like $4,000 a day, right? You take that, divide that into 10 hours, that's $400 an hour, right? You gotta sell a whole lot of beanies to make $400 an hour. You know what I'm saying? And so you need to think about that. So you can do it. We've helped people make $1 million in 3 months, right? But that is very, very outlierish. That's not something that normally happens. It's gonna take you time to build anything. Now your year 5 goal is something that's different. We always underestimate what we do in 5 years. In 5 years, you can change the world. I was speaking to them yesterday. I said, Uber, Airbnb. You even look at the artists like, let's just say Cardi B. You nobody know who she was 5 years ago. She's probably in the club somewhere 5 years ago. But now she's a star, right? 5 years, you could change the world. Elon Musk, he has something. He says, stop being patient. He says, take your take your 10-year goal and try to fit it into 6 months. He said, more than likely you'll fail, but you'd be a heck of a lot further than the person that assumed that it would take 10 years, okay? Now, there's some other things like SMART goals that you can utilize to do those things. I'm not gonna mention that or go over that. You can kind of look that up. Just look it up on the internet when you leave, all right? SMART goals, all right? Now, where should our goals be? Should we set them at 100,000? Anybody? Should we set them at 100? What you think?
No.
Yeah? Well, see, let's look at it. $100,000 gross. Let's just say we have $60,000 to $70,000 in expenses, taxes and expenses, okay? So, $30,000 to $40,000 in profit. Can you live off of that?
Nope.
No, right? So, hey, $1 million. $1 million gross. Let's look at it. $600,000 to $700,000 in taxes and expenses. $300,000 to $400,000. We can live off of that, right? Right? Okay. So the goal should be $1 million. Okay. So $1 million is our goal. Let's set that. All right. Now, less than 7% of people actually ever get to $1 million. So of all y'all in here, only about 70 y'all gonna get there. Okay. According to this stat, right? Now, around 5.5% to be exact, right? That is those numbers. Well, it was the numbers. We're looking to change that, but these are what the numbers are. Business is hard, but it's conquerable, okay? There is so much to overcome and learn about how you need to scale and get your business in. I'm gonna try to talk to you about some of these pieces now, right? Most people, this is key though, most people do not endure and focus on something long enough for a long enough time horizon and stay focused on something long enough to see it through to fruition. Do you understand? I see this all of the time. Now, we have helped 43,000 entrepreneurs over this time, okay? 43,000 entrepreneurs, and over this time we have helped everybody, rich, poor, black, white, all of them, young, old, it did not matter. We helped everybody. But I'm gonna tell you something. When I look at this, the first thing that you need to do is make sure that you stop trying to pursue all these different things to try to figure out and see that that's going to get you to making money. It does not. I've helped all these entrepreneurs, but there's one specific, being here in Atlanta, okay, and being that the number one demographic for entrepreneurs is who right now? Anybody? But who specifically? That's correct. They start businesses at a much higher rate than any other demographic. So let's just say if you have 10 males, only 1 or 2 of them are going to look to start a business. You talk to black females, 7 to 8 of them look to start businesses. But this is the thing. If you look at those 7 to 8, okay, that are starting their businesses, and you look at the 1 to 2 males, okay, that are starting their business, their actual businesses in a year bypass the females' companies. And it's not for what most people think. They say, oh man, it's this or it's that. No, what it is. If you, most males, okay, and kind of, if you look at them and you say, hey, you know what, sit right here and, you give a male a remote control and you give him a beer and you tell him to watch TV, he may fall over, right? But why? Why is that? It is because most men have a one-track mind, okay? They're very, very focused in their approach to everything, right? That's when you're in front of them in TV, you say, hey, I told you to do it while you was watching the game. I was watching the game, So, how you going to expect me to remember that? I was watching the game, and that's the whole thing. But it's because of that focus that ends up helping them to get to those great, because you say, what are you doing today in the business? Oh, I'm helping my customers, making it happen. And the next day, what are you doing in your business? Oh, I'm helping my customers, helping them make sure it happens. Well, the next day, I'm helping my customers, making it happen. And then before you know it, they continue to compound, and get traction, and that's how they're able to do it. Most of the females, specifically, that I have worked with over this time, they're mothers, they're spouses, they're running a business, they're in the church choir, singing, and they juggling everything, and still keeping everything afloat, coincidentally. But this is the thing, they're chasing 5 hens and they can't catch one, right? And this is what I've seen. It's not that they didn't have great talent. They weren't extremely creative, because they were. But it's this lack of focus that has caused them to limit their own success. So when we help them, and I know, am I talking to anybody out there?
Yeah.
Right? People that think, oh, I'm gonna start I hear this all the time. Mr. McNair, because I talked to him about, okay, if you want to set up an entity, you know, you should probably, depending on what you're doing, in most cases, if you're trying to get investor money, you want to set up a Class C corporation. You're trying to set up other pieces, you want to be a S corporation because you can actually defer and have certain pieces set up on that end. And I talked to him about all of that on that end. But the biggest thing is that they always think that, hey, can I put 2 entities under one umbrella? Okay, I want to do this and this and this and this. And I just say, no, don't do none of that. Okay? Pick one thing. Okay? You don't make money. I used to tell people all the time, like, people think that the way that they make money is like, they used to say, hey, you working like a Jamaican, because back in the day, you have all these different things you're trying to do. That's not the way that you make money. The way that you make money is focusing on one thing long enough, over a long enough horizon for it to make sense. So this is the thing. When we were able to help them to focus on one particular thing, their businesses took off. Their businesses sailed, you know, on this end. And so, and this is something that's very, very important. I want y'all to think about this. Now, you have to learn. There's 2 biggest things that you need to figure out how to leverage. Number 1, your time, okay? And number 2, your money. These things are very important. A lot of you all work on jobs and spend hours and hours on those jobs, and then you come off of the jobs, and then you spend an hour. I said, how much time do you spend in your business this week? Well, I spent 2 hours last week. And I said, so, okay, so, you know, you run a business, right? And so on your job, you're just in the accounting department doing accounting, and it's you and 10 other people doing accounting, right? But in your business, you're doing accounting, finance, marketing, HR, organization, implementation, whatever, right? And then you're talking about 2 hours a week ago, right? That don't even make sense. So you can't expect for me, okay, there's no way you can beat me. Because if I'm competing against you, and you're working 2 hours a couple weeks, and I'm in there working 40, 60, 80 hours a week, there's no way that you can win. And so, and it's not even about putting in that much time, it's about putting in consistent time. So you have to make sure you're focused on that. And then your money also. A lot of us allocate things to everything else. But when it talks about investing in ourselves, I talked about this yesterday, how I said, I don't know. Now, any financial advisors out there, don't hate me. Any financial advisors here? Okay, good. So look, I was talking to people about I said, I don't understand how people, why would you put money in a 401k? I said, I never understood that. Now, I've always worked for myself, and so I just never understood how people would take their money. Most people ain't making more than $100,000, okay, if that, right? And so you're taking your money off of your check, and then you're gonna take whatever little money you got left and send it off to the 401k people. Y'all know what they do with y'all money? They invest it in the stock market. Okay, so you're talking about Elon Musk, what is it? Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos. They take your money. Thanks so much for that check. And then they take that check and go run their businesses and grow their businesses, right? And then you're talking about, but I ain't got no money for my business. And you done took your money and gave it to them. And this is the thing. Then, when you try to go get your money, they like, hey, first the king, your DNA swap, and then you're gonna get it. And then, when you get it, they gonna make you pay tax individually. Are you kidding me? So, this is what I'm saying. So, I just don't get it. Keep your money in your pocket. You understand? So you can put it into things that help you make sense now. Okay, especially now. Now, your journey to $1 million begins with 2 things: being coachable and putting in work over a long enough time horizon. Some people think they know everything. I put in over 15,000 documented consulting hours. That means just consulting one-on-one with people, 15,000 hours, okay, over 21 years. And I'm gonna tell you this, I graduated top of my class from every school I went into. I was the #1 graduate from my college, #1 graduate from my grad school. But I'm gonna tell you this, everywhere I go, every time I approach stuff like I don't know anything, like I am a student, like I'm a little child. And it's so crazy that I talk to entrepreneurs all the time who have made $50,000 and think they know everything. Or maybe made $500 and think they know everything. You know, and I'm like, you gotta be coachable. That is key. And it starts with a place of humility, right? That is key, extremely key. Now, and you have to be able to put in work over a long enough time horizon. Now, I'm gonna speak to you about this, and this is gonna be the last thing I'm gonna speak to you about. This is the PCS Framework, okay? This is a framework that if you follow this, you're gonna make money in your business, okay? I have all types of frameworks that I've developed over the years. But this is one framework that I've looked at that I know that if you study this, it will help you to make money. Now, what is this? The key to every successful business, I don't care what it is, it starts here, okay? This is the key. What is it? The problem, the customer, and the solution, okay? It doesn't matter what you're selling. If you don't focus here, you're gonna fail. Now let me show you this. This is a framework, and it's an iterative framework, okay? It's customer-centric to where you're focusing on integration and product development. It emphasizes the importance of deeply understanding and prioritizing the customer's primary problem, okay? Before defining the customer avatar and then develop a tailored solution based on the customer and the problem. Y'all see this? So, problem first, then the customer, okay, and a specific customer, an avatar of this customer, and then creating only after that. This is the thing, I talk to this to people all the time, you don't build it and they will come. That's a horrible way to do it, okay? Because you could be building something that nobody wants, okay? I talk to people all the time and I tell them, I said, you know, it's not just about demand, and that's a framework that I have on the DCD framework. It's not just about demand, it's about people could want something, but when you put that price tag on it, will they pay for it? It's not about them just wanting it, will they pay for what it is you're selling? So it can't just be something that somebody wants. It has to be something that somebody's willing to pay for. But you don't, I see so many people all the time who, oh, I got this thing right here, JR. Oh, you give them by? I said, I don't want it. Well, look, I spent all this time working on this, so why don't you just help me out? I said, I don't want it. Look, you're going to take my thing right here. I spent all this time, so you're just going to force it on me like that? So this is the whole thing. So this is what happens with a lot of people. They have these products, they get so obsessed with their product, with their service, that they don't focus on the customer's what? Problem. That's it. That's it. You have to start there. If you start from there, everything else will flow. Everything else will go. Let's go. So the first thing, you want to identify the problem and immerse yourself in this problem. I always tell people, fall in love with the problem, not your solution. Fall in love with your customer's problem. When we started this community, I was obsessed with helping entrepreneurs to make money, because I said, I see all these companies that fail because they don't make money. And I said, I have to help them. So all I started doing was studying everything. How can companies make money? What do they need to do? How can they make this happen? When I was going to sleep, I was thinking about it. When I was waking up, I was thinking about it. I was dreaming about it. Having nightmares and good dreams about it. You know, I'm saying, so this is the thing, but I immerse myself into this problem, right? So you first have to identify and understand the core problems your potential customers face, okay? That's number one. Some activities. Conduct market research and gather customer feedback to uncover pain points. Just talking to people. Getting simple feedback forms from them, just asking them questions, right? And I'm not going to go into a lot of that on here, but I do that when in my small business day events. I will talk to people and I'll tell them about Sally's banana pudding and give them that example there. This is a great way for you to figure this out. Just talking to people and letting them see if they're going to buy it. I have not even had websites up. I haven't had anything. I went to somebody and was like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. We're going to start this on this date. Do you like this? And then they were like, yeah, we do. Okay? And so, and I ended up selling just based on them saying that they wanted something. So you can, people will speak with their dollars. Prioritize problems based on their frequency, intensity, and the customer's willingness to pay for a solution. So this is how you prioritize these things, okay? Live the problem if possible to gain empathy and a deeper understanding of your customer's experience. So if you live this problem, okay, you will be able to understand fully what your customer is experiencing so that you can therefore know how to answer their problems. Now, the second thing, this customer avatar. This is the thing. Develop a clear and detailed profile of your ideal customer. The specific person who experiences what? The problems that we were just talking about, right? That you aim to solve. The activities, demographics, age, location, occupation, income level, psychographics, what they're interested in, their values, their lifestyles, their behavior. Develop one, okay? This is important. Not two, not five, one, okay? One primary avatar. Because you can have, I deal with teachers that deal with X, Y, Z. I also deal with truck drivers that deal with X, Y, or Z. No, the teacher or the truck driver, what you want? Pick one and go after it. Because if you got $1 billion, even if you have $1 billion, even Amazon, okay, they only started out with books. They didn't start out with everything else. They weren't the everything store back then. And when they specifically started, they really targeted college students. Okay, that's when I had this book in college. I was like, it's orange. I saw it because they gave me the money where I could buy my school books. And I got the stuff, and I said, I saw this thing online. It was like, my books was $2,500 at my school, and it was $300 online, $2,500, $300. I'm doing that. I had this little orange book, orange casing, and it was like Amazon. I said, what is this? And I took out the book, and that's when my first experience with Amazon. But they focused on one specific customer avatar, right? And to maintain who that is they're serving. Then you need to understand the customer's day-to-day life and where your product fits in. This makes sense? Okay, now, last slide here. Your purpose here. Create a solution based on the problem, based on what? The customer, to help you solve here. So create a solution that effectively addresses the identified problem your customer avatar faces, okay? Design a minimum viable product. Key word here, minimum, okay? Not maximum, okay? That means, hey, I was saying, hey, look, hey girl, I do Teletubbies, eyelashes, fingernails, everything. No, look, just do the fingernails, okay? That's it, just fingernails. Okay? So, and do the fingernails so good, okay? That when they see it, they say, oh, girl, look at the fingernails. That's what you gotta do, okay? One thing. All right, now, watch this. You wanna design that to solve that customer's main problem most effective, okay, and efficiently, right? Avoid feature creep by not trying to solve multiple problems at once, okay? Validate the solution with your customer avatar through what? Testing and feedback. Okay, now, iterative development and delay. So now we're going to refine the solution. Once we've developed the solution, what are we going to do? We're going to continue to refine it based on customer feedback. This is why I always tell people, my philosophy in business and life is to launch it and perfect it later, right? Say that with me. Launch it and perfect it later, okay? Because I tell this to people all the time, y'all got plan paralysis. Plan. Yeah, I don't want David looking at my stuff. I don't want to mess with it. It ain't good enough yet. Ain't nobody care about that. Get it done. Make it happen. Push it out here. This is the thing. So you have to focus on getting out there. Your customers are going to let you know how to make it better, how to get it done. Now, you can implement feedback loops to continually improve the product. In our membership, I am always looking at ways to improve, looking at ways on how I can make it better and better and better, but I'm talking to my people. I'm like a detective. See, because sometimes your customers won't tell you what it is, but their actions will tell you what it is. So you got to be looking like, okay, they said this, but they really meant this. That when that girl say, hey, I got a boyfriend. What she really saying is, I don't want you. So you got to look at what she's saying and what she's doing. So anyway, once the primary problem is solved, identify secondary problems experienced by the customers, right? Now, develop additional solutions or product features that address these secondary problems over time, okay? Now, long-term relationship building, establish trust and loyalty, okay? By consistently delivering on that customer value, by solving your customer's problems, okay? So activities here, let's look at it. Provide exceptional customer service and support. This is key. You know, we have a number in our community that people can call. When people need us, we get back to them. These are things that are big, and especially in 2023, you know, and these are things that we provide. Use customer relationship management tools, like use a CRM. Stop trying to put everything in your pocket and in an Excel document. You know, use a CRM. They have a lot of free ones out there. Foster community around your brand to enhance customer retention and referrals, okay? Now the final takeaway, this framework ensures that businesses remain focused on what is most critical. What is that? Solving real problems for real people, right? It's not just about selling a product, y'all. It's not about that. It's about becoming a trusted partner, okay, with your customers to help them understand and address their needs better than anyone else. Okay? This approach not only leads to better products, but also promotes sustainable business growth. Sustainable. So you don't have to keep trying to go back to the well. No, look. So these are other frameworks that we'll talk about at a later date. I can't go over all of these, but I just want to kind of show you this is some of the stuff we're going to be talking about in the future. Oh yeah, I do want to say this though. Let me go back. Understanding entities better than your CPA. Why 97% of y'all don't have LLCs set up correctly? I'm going to answer this for you right here. Okay? Do y'all know why most of y'all LLCs aren't set up correctly? And if you're in my community, don't say it. Okay? It's because you don't have an operating agreement. Okay? You formed that entity, but you did not form an operating agreement with that entity. Okay? And if you don't have an operating agreement with your entity, it is not a valid entity. And if somebody tries to sue you and you lose and you go to court and the judge says and the opposing attorney says, if y'all have an opportunity, look at Amazon. Go home if you haven't. My cousin, they just did a movie on him on Amazon. It's called The Burial. Okay, Jamie Foxx played him in the movie. It's called The Burial. It's about him winning he's like he's most successful trial attorney pretty much in the history of the United States. His name is Willie Garrett. Mm-hmm. And so, but in that, if my cousin was sitting and he says, Judge, let me see their operating agreement. And you say, what's that? And he says, Judge, I'd like to ask to, seize their personal assets because they're not operating their business correctly. Now, I'm not saying that would happen. I hope that it wouldn't. But you can get an operating agreement by going on Google, filling out a simple, they got operating agreement templates out there for you to do it, but 97% of people don't have them. And they're operating. Not legally though, but I'm saying, so go home tonight and fix that, okay? Our ideas process, this is one of our patented processes, proprietary process that we take people through. The first step here is identify, to confirm if you're in the right business, okay? I'm gonna tell you something. How much do you make as a graphic designer?
As a graphic designer, only like 22 an hour. 22. Used to make more before 2020
happened. But that's fine. No, you say and your wife makes how much?
She makes about 25.
25 an hour. Okay. So 25 an hour, and it takes her how much for the actual custom or the ones that are not?
The ones that are not are quicker. She can do about 4 at a time. The wax notes, she adds stones and special
plants. But the custom ones, it takes about it takes about an hour
or two.
Or two. Let's just say 2 hours. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So 2 hours. How much does that stuff cost to field things, the materials to do that?
It's a lot. We have a ton of materials.
So I'm saying, per candle, for that $40 candle, how much does it cost?
I would say probably $5.
About $5, okay.
But then you include the wax, almost.
And when you ship them, do you pay for shipping or does the customer pay for shipping?
Customer pays.
Okay, customer pays for shipping. Okay, now, so let's just take the $40, take the $5 off for the materials, okay? And you take her labor, which that's not something you're counting. $25 an hour times 2, that's $50. Okay, minus 35, okay? From that, you're negative $15. Okay? And this is what I'm saying. It does not make sense what you're doing. And I would advise you away from that business. I always tell people to look at the thing that you're commonly doing on a consistent basis. How long have y'all been doing graphic design?
She's been doing it for almost 20 years. I've been doing it for about 8.
Your wife is, you're an expert, your wife is a super expert, okay? 20 years, okay? It's not a lot of people who even alive for 20 years. So to be doing something, I'm serious. Like what I'm saying is she has been doing a profession for a large swath of people that even exist. That's where she needs to go. She does not need to try to, because you got to look at it. You have to always look at the numbers. We can't go. The reason that she's frustrated is because she's in an ecosystem or in some kind of a job where she is not being utilized correctly. Okay? At 20 years, she should not be doing any more design work. She should be teaching others how to do various designs. And because she's in that role and she's continuing to feel like a slave in that role, she wants to get out of it, so her outlay is to do something like candles. Okay? And she's doing them thinking that she's making money, but when she equates the real time she's spending, she's losing money. But she feels good about it because they're not using her right. You understand? And that's what she has to stop. So a lot of us, if you get out of those environments that you're in, the thing that you already have your skill in, that is the thing that you need to go with, right? Look, 20 years in the game, I've been doing what I've been doing for 20 plus years, okay? And after a certain period of time, you just, like, Dr. Bailey is back here. He's gonna come up here in a second, but I'm sure, he just told me, he said, JR, he said, sometimes when I walk in a room, I can just look at a patient and just know what's going on. I don't need to say anything, I just already know. Why? Because he's been doing it. He's been seeing it, right? So she spent his time in here, she knows it better. So I'm telling you, you need to, I wish she was here.
She was supposed to be here.
Okay. Well, you're gonna have to communicate this information, and you know, I'm not telling you, you know. I'm just saying, you know, you gotta be able to move, gotta get on down. You know, yeah. So what I'm saying is like, make sure, you know, you give this stuff to her and tell her, you know, but just kind of explain it to her, you know, set aside your argument so that it can make sense. And just tell her and just give it to her and just let her sit with it. Okay? And that's the whole thing, because you don't want to be spending all this time. Look, people say, well, I just love it. I love it. Well, it's a lot of the things I love to do in business. Right. Okay? This is hard, man. Like, I want to go vacation. I like to go to the movies. I like to eat. Like, you know, a business is not one of those things I'm just doing because, you know, I'm just going to do it all the time. And, you know, if you want to do this, make money with it so that you can change your life. So that money is not the reason that you have to do stuff. Right? Does that make sense, y'all? Yes. Okay, did that help? Yes. Okay, all right. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. I think, how much more time we got?
Not much, but we can take one more question.
Yeah, she has a question right here.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm well, how are you?
Good, good.
So my question is from the perspective, when you were mentioning focusing on the one thing.
Sure.
I've definitely been guilty in the past of focusing on too many things, and I've got myself on the one thing.
Yeah.
But my husband is on multiple things still.
Mm-hmm.
So how are you determining which of the things that you're doing should be the one thing? Like, what do you use to quantify that?
Okay, that's a great question. So I have a framework that I have here. Did I put it in here? No, it's I'm trying to see if I put it over here so I can kind of, here it is. This is the DCD framework: desire, capacity, and demand. Okay, so you have to have something. And this is the thing: at the center of these three, desire, capacity, and demand, you're going to find the perfect business. Okay, now. So people say, well, like desire, they say, well, I started a company, I didn't like it, you know, I was just doing it. Yeah, now you can start a company and not necessarily like it, but I'm gonna tell you something. When the going gets tough, you're gonna quit. Okay, and that's the truth. It may not be now, it may be a year from now. Okay, the way that you make money in a business is by doing something over a long enough horizon, and that means years. Okay? Years. And if you don't love it, you're going to quit. Capacity. Can you do it? Right? Now, I don't care, and I tell these people all the time, I don't care how much you like to cook. If you're behind, if you want to open up if you talk about, I want to open up a restaurant, okay, and you burn water when you cook, I'm talking about water is burnt. Like, how you burn water? You know, if that's the case, you don't need to be opening up no restaurant. You understand what I'm saying? Don't do it. You know, so, but this is the thing. You may need to hire somebody with the capacity to open that restaurant, right? You may just have that fire palate. But you may need to bring somebody on who can have the cooking skills, and you just want to taste it. Oh, that's right, that's right. You know, you can always hire for capacity, right? Now, the third thing is demand. And I mention this all the time. It doesn't matter that people gotta want what it is that you're selling. And it's not only wanting, but it's just like, hey, yeah, you know, people always love to talk to me when I'm giving my advice. You know, I'm a life coach, and I always be talking to my girlfriend. They be talking about, oh, Shaniqua, you show so good. You know, you old girl, you telling me the truth. And then, but when I say, all right, Shaniqua, why don't you go ahead and tell them it's $100 an hour. It's $100 an hour. Well, Shaniqua, it wasn't that good. And so, you know, it's not only the demand, but it's what they're willing to pay for. So at the center of these things is going to have you the perfect business. Now, once again, if you have demand and capacity, like I said, if you have demand and desire without capacity, you're not going to be able to fulfill it. But as I mentioned, you can always hire for capacity, right? If you have desire and capacity without demand, okay, you're going to be in a poorhouse, okay? Because nobody's going to buy your stuff. If you have demand, okay, and capacity without desire, when the going gets tough, you're going to quit. So when you look at these pieces at the center, you'll have this, and what you all have to look at is, what is the thing, once you've gotten this, you need to look at what is the thing that you feel like can really take you there, okay? Because, and I would say, it's hard to do anything, but it's very hard to do two things at once. So what I would recommend is for you all to figure out what is the thing that you feel like is going to work, okay? And both of y'all put your energies behind it. But you go do this first, and then, okay, you all need to figure out what is the thing that I need to put my energies behind based on the potential of what that opportunity is, right? Now, there's certain things right now, and I don't have time to get over my level 10 frameworks, but there's something I always talk about when I talk about the level of opportunities that are available, right? Some opportunities just suck. Like, for example, like newspapers right now in 2023. That's a sucky industry. Like number 1 on the level scale of 1 to 10 as far as level 10 opportunities. Something that's huge right now, probably level 10, is something like AI, artificial intelligence. You don't even gotta really know what you're doing. You just throw that on there. I'm in AI, you know? Like, and then you have opportunities there. So all I'm saying is you need to look at the opportunity and look at, like, you know, your capacity to fulfill on it. I see so many people who they say, you know, I had to talk to a lady, she said, you know, so what do you do for a living? I'm a teacher. And your background, what is it in? Education? Okay, and then I say, okay, what kind of business are you trying to do? Transportation? And everybody, I don't care where it's at. I'm at a chicken wing spot. What kind of business? Oh, you the guy help people start businesses. What kind of business you start? Transportation business. Another guy like, transportation business. I'm like, dang, like, no. You know, because y'all think it's a lot of people, once again, chasing opportunities and not really going based on the thing that you're supposed to be doing.
So what if it's the same industry, but it's like they all complement it? They all kind of go together.
I can't,
So,
you have to be specific.
Okay, so he does sound,
Okay.
audio sound.
Okay.
He does production,
Okay.
which includes music, sound.
Okay.
It all kind of goes together.
Okay, those can be one business.
So it needs to be one type of industry, not necessarily one individual.
So that could be, he could do both of those things in what he's doing, right? But he just needs to have the first thing that he's gonna go out with, okay?
Yeah.
So what is gonna be, like, look at Apple, okay? The thing that almost caused Apple to go bankrupt was they had all these products. They had like 249 products, okay? And they were about to go out of business because they had fired their founder. That's why I think it's crazy for people to let the visionary of a company go. They always need to be tied to the company because that's the heart of the company. And they almost went out of business. He went and started, Pixar, and all these other companies. And then they finally had him come back, and because they was getting ready to go out of business. And he was like, look, he said, first thing, you have way too many products. So he narrowed them all down to like 5 products, okay? And then he came out with one product at first. Do y'all know what that was? The iPod. 1,000 songs in your pocket, right? And he came up with that. But he only did one at a time. He only marketed one at a time. Then later, they had all these products, but they didn't release them all at the same time, because why they would come. This is why you have movies that are produced. A movie all the sequels of the movie are already done, but they don't release them at the same time because they don't want them competing with one another. Okay? So they brought out one, okay, then they let that mature enough in the market, and then they bring you with another complementary product. You should always be looking at what is the first thing that I can do for that customer, and look at that customer's lifetime journey and say, what else are they going to need? Okay? Then you develop products for when they get to this stage. Next, you're going to need this. Oh, I didn't know I needed a Mac. You know, this is what I'm saying. Oh, what's that? An iPhone? I'll take it. You know, this is what I'm saying. But they had enough forward thinking to understand these people are going to need these products as they go forward. Okay? So that's what you need to do. Put it together, tell them to focus, and just tell them and it's the other thing too. You know, tell them to give me a call. And give us a call. Now, I don't do a lot of one-on-one anymore, but we have things in our infrastructure. We have a lot of people that can help you. What I'm going to say to this is stop trying to do everything yourself. I think a lot of us, when we're working, we think that we have to do the everything, you know, and we don't understand. No, you should be the CEO. That needs to be your first job. And so, you know, if I can hire somebody, pay them, you know, $15 an hour to help send emails back and forth for me for 2 hours a day, that's $30 a day, 5 days a week, $150 a week, times 4 weeks, $600 a month, and I got somebody that's handling stuff. I don't like sending emails back and forth, and they are moving the business while I'm working, right?